My brothers and sisters through Zetas, today we are finally getting close to the day where we don't have to see hardware abilities coming soon. That will be gone sometime either tomorrow, May 23rd, or May 24th. We are supposed to get a huge update coming to the game. Oh man. Part 1 of the update was pushed out yesterday and it was more of a user interface change, but with this update coming out either tomorrow or the day after, we're going to put a lot of meat on the bones of this new update. So let's go into it and talk about what's going on. The first thing is that the solo movie launch is bringing double drops pretty much throughout the whole entire game aside from Galactic War. Double drops on light side and hard side, normal and hard battles, cantina battles, and mod challenges for about 2 days, from May 25th to May 27th. So if you're looking to farm your characters a lot faster, Talza, Night Sister Spirit, Night Sister Zombie, might be a good time to take advantage of this. And most importantly, if you like to farm mods, mod challenges during double drops is such an awesome time because mod challenges already drop mods at 100% drop rate. Probably the most significant thing coming with this update is Ships 2.0. Now, I did an unveiling of the Ships 2.0 update. I'll leave a card in the top right. If you want the quick rundown, I show pretty much everything that is going on with ships, and pretty much they highlighted here in this tiny paragraph. We're getting reinforcement abilities, formerly called hardware abilities, that we have here, which is now going to be changed to reinforcement abilities. And we also have a change to the starting fleet. We're going from 5 to 3 ships as the starting fleet, and this 5 to 3 change really changes the dynamic of ships a little bit more, and we're going to obviously talk a lot more about it once this update does drop live. And then following this, we have abilities updated, so ships have new abilities. Kits have been changed. I showed some examples in the video I referred you guys to earlier, and now the timer is being reset from 7:30 to 5 minutes. This ships update is going to be quite significant, and a lot of ships that I tested out through this beta when I made that video, a lot of ships that were kind of underdogs actually were quite usable. The starter of the 3 Geonosians is actually a pretty fun combo to run, so I think it's going to mix up what our expectations of ships was. And for some people, they don't like the change, and some people do like the change. Overall, I'm kind of happy it's being reinvigorated because ships has been the most boring part of the game, but I do see the downsides of ships being changed because people who have been playing ships, it's one of the easiest places to get crystals. Even though it might be boring and consistent and nothing really changes, it was a good spot for people to farm crystals every single day if they made the top 20. And now this next thing is more pertaining to newer players, mid-game players mainly, but it's called Quest. It's an area that will now drive new and existing players through a series of quests that will help players begin to understand our core mechanics, squad compositions, raids, and other gameplay modes. This kind of replaces where we had the activities button in the bottom right hand corner of the main interface. If you're between 2 and 21, they get you familiar with the light side, dark side cantina battles. Later on from 22 to 40, they kind of get you more into the middle life where they help you join a guild, launch raids, all that fun stuff. And then eventually from 41 to 85, once you're starting to get closer to the end game, they're kind of driving you to invest in new squads and characters to get prepared for end game content, which everyone's going to the end game one way or another, and they're trying to help you get there. And then later we're supposed to get some more high-end quests or people who have hit level 85, and these are award titles to end game players. And later on down below, they kind of talk a little bit more about what these titles are all about. And I guess if you want more information, you click on the link and it'll take you to a quest summary post from a Capital Games developer. We're not going to go over that, but if you want more information, I'll link this forum post down below and you can go and check it out. Now, one thing I have heard some people talk about, not many, it's to get titles in the game. So when you complete a legendary event or when you've completed so many arena battles or whatnot, you get like these little titles that are attached to your name. So it's kind of like a symbol of prestige, a symbol of seniority in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I know some people do enjoy that type of thing, like Call of Duty. People like collecting the accolades and the emblems so you can kind of show off the achievements that you've completed in the game. And I'm guessing these titles will populate either tomorrow or on May 24th, because right now we don't see anything here, but I'm guessing they might populate it with getting Grandmaster Yoda, Palpatine, getting so many victories in a squad arena, for example, completing so many raids, completing heroic. I'm guessing this will populate into a nice list of accomplishments you've done in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Now this is kind of interesting because I know for a lot of people who aren't as invested in the game, raids can be overwhelming. Finding the right guild can be overwhelming, and this looks like it might be nice for new players. I'm looking forward to learning more about this, but starter guilds are the perfect new player experience and continue to be an excellent choice far into higher levels. So players of a similar level, I guess they're grouped together automatically, and it will remove churn players, introduce new players, and launch raids automatically that are appropriate to the player's level. Sometimes guilds might shoot for something too high or too low. I'm guessing this is trying to, based on what your starter guild looks like, it's going to try to launch a raid that's kind of in accordance with your guild's power, the characters they have perhaps. I don't know, seems kind of interesting. So players who hit level 22 will be automatically entered into these starting guilds, and in addition, players under level 80 can choose to join a starter guild. So I guess you have that opportunity to get into one of these starter guilds, even if you're beyond 22. So there are going to be 7 tiers of starter guilds, each of which has a series of quests that ensure the player is strong enough to move on to the next tier. So mainly to get you prepared, because I know some people who are like, I don't know if I can move on to the next point in the raids, or they might think they're ready, but they aren't ready. So I guess this is mainly to help people gauge if they're ready or not to move on. And as the player advances into higher starter guild tiers, higher Rancor and eventually Sith raid tiers will become available. And these are auto summoned when the guild has generated enough raid tickets. So this kind of goes a bit down more, where raids are now going to auto start and auto enroll you, which should be kind of nice, because I know so many people who forget to post a 0, and that affects the whole guild if one guild member isn't getting their stuff. And once the player has mastered the final tier, we transition the player into a full-featured guild. So I'm hoping this is going to be helpful for beginner players. I haven't seen how this actually works out, but it seems like on paper, it should help people kind of learn more about the raids and kind of be able to tackle it better. But I mean, it all sounds good on paper, but hopefully in execution, it actually does turn out to be a very good thing. Now the next thing is the chat overhaul. As we see here, I'm looking at my phone right now. They totally changed how the guild chat works and how the chat feature overall has changed. I've heard a lot of debates because we've had Discord going on for a long time now. People have been using that as the standard. So many people are like, I don't really know if I'll use this much, but hopefully it's going to be an improvement. I know one of the biggest concerns, as we'll see here, is that donations pop up on the screen, and this right here might annoy some people because it does take up a lot of the screen. But you know, let's give them that stun cuff. There we go. There you go. You're welcome. And now this next thing, I use Discord, so this doesn't really pertain to me much, but maybe for people who are starting off and don't know what Discord is, this might be fairly helpful. And I know it's great for especially people who are in those lower end guilds, because a lot of lower end guilds, they can't get all their players into Discord. But now you're able to create these direct messages, group chats, you can report, mute. So I've already gotten a couple invites. I don't know who the heck these people are. Shout out to Lou's Home Dogs. And we got the Sidis. I don't know who you guys are, but I'm gonna have to reject it. I'm sorry. I don't know who you guys are. So I'm guessing I'm gonna start probably getting spammed with a lot of requests. But as you see here, if I go down here, I could probably create my own little chat. Here we go. Let's send Mobile Gamer a message. Got any 8-star characters? Oh man, that's too good. That's too good. Well, I'm happy they finally added this auto post raid feature, because not just me, I know a lot of people, you always don't see the notification. Life gets busy. Your life doesn't revolve around the game, and you forget to post a 0 in the raid. And if you don't know what posting a 0 means, for more high-end guilds to kind of make sure everyone gets a chance to enroll in the raid, they have a 24-hour window where people post a 0, so that way people have a chance to get the rewards even if they can't participate in the raids. Well, sometimes not everyone remembers or sees or doesn't have the time to enroll a 0 in the raid, which means you don't get any rewards. And if one person doesn't get a reward, it affects the whole entire guild, because you want the whole guild to grow together, and if someone's missing raid rewards, they're slowing down the guild. Guild officers can now set up a specific tier of each raid to auto launch at a specific time if enough raid tickets have been generated. For example, 6 p.m. raid launch for a Sith raid tier 5 and 7 p.m. raid launch for heroic Rancor. So kind of rereading this, I assumed originally that it'll just auto join all guild members, but I guess they're kind of making it a little easier, where now instead of just putting random Ugnaught in and posting a 0 like I showed on Twitter a while ago, what you do now is called tagging the raid. And what you do is, or what officers do, is they can specify a period of time, 1 to 24 hours, that players can tag the raid but are not allowed to do damage. And tagging is done by tapping a join button, which will auto post 0 damage and qualify the player for rewards. And players that haven't tagged, the guild members kind of get a list and see who hasn't tagged the raid, and that way they can message the person or make a group message in the guild chat, or for example in Discord, to kind of let them know, so they don't have to worry about people not enrolling in the raids. They just get a nice little list on who hasn't joined yet. So it's a better improvement, makes the guild leader's life easier, so raids just auto start, and hopefully it makes it easier for people to join. You don't need to worry about tossing an UG not posting a 0, it just happens. And now we got basic training events. This looks to be more of a beginner player type of thing, so you can kind of get familiar with how factions operate. For example, Resistance, they're all about exposed synergy, so maybe through these basic events, they're kind of helping you learn the core mechanics of certain factions. And we also have the change to finding things in the game. They kind of change the flow of it. But let's say, for example, you're looking for Mother Talisman shards. Well, it shows you where they are. It shows you what packs you can get them in. Sometimes they show you if they're available in shipments. Like, let's check Night Sister Zombie. Yeah, like in Night Sister Zombie, they show you that they're available in shipments. They show me how broke I am with crystals, and they show you the other places where you can get them more packs, as well as the hard battle and whatnot. So it just shows you literally every single place you can get it, and it's more of ease of access, so you don't have to click on it, go to the place. You can literally just buy it right there and then, which I can't. I'm too poor. I'm broke. And now we got some free stuff, free ship omegas and reinforcement materials. Now, reinforcement abilities are going to be really important, and they use their own type of materials. So a one-time gift of reinforcement and ship omega materials will be arriving to the inbox of all players at or above level 60. Reinforcement materials will also be on Cantina Node 6A for a limited time, and I'm kind of wondering if I should farm these right away because I'm not sure how hard they will be to get, but we'll have to wait and see. And this is something I'm finally happy to see, sort of, is Darth Sion and Visas Marr are free to play, but both of them are going to be on some very difficult nodes. Darth Sion light side 9A and Visas Marr dark side 7B. So again, this is probably going to be a good 3 to 5 to maybe 6 or 7 months, depending on your luck, to farm these characters, but at least they're free to play now. A few more things I want to point out. With this recent update, they changed how people can see what characters have a Zeta. So as you see on the faces of all these characters, it shows you how many Zetas do I have invested in a character. I know some people hate this and some people love this. It's mainly a quality of life update for the attacker. So when they're going into battle, they can see right on the screen without doing too much research on the other team who has a Zeta and who doesn't. But for people on defense, they might not like this because it might make their team look a lot weaker than it actually is, or it's going to show how weak the team is, and you can't go and put a Barris in Territory Wars without a Zeta and trick the other team. I know a lot of people who tried that, and now it's not going to work because now it's going to show if Barris has a Zeta or not. Overall, this is one of those cornerstone key updates for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. A lot of things change with the user interface ships, with ships coming around soon. I mean, there's a lot to learn about ships, so expect some more videos on ships, something that a lot of people don't make videos on because ships is uninteresting, and it's been the same for quite a long time, but this for sure will start shaking things up, I think. But you guys let me know down below, what's your favorite part of this update? Are you excited for something? What do you want to learn more about ships? Because I'm going to make some ships videos, and I want to see what you guys are thinking, so when I make videos, I can keep your guys' thoughts in mind. And thank you so much for watching, and if you did enjoy this video, go ahead, leave me a like, comment down below, and subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And as always,